After James Gunn took over DC, he's faced countless allegations and criticisms. Many fans claim he's not the right person to lead DC and dismiss him as someone who makes joke-filled movies. Others insist Zack Snyder was the better choice, pointing to his incredible visuals and darker tone. But here's the hard truth: James Gunn is way better for DC than Snyder.
What?
Yes, Snyder's visuals are stunning, there's no denying that, but a great movie is more than just eye candy. James Gunn may not create jaw-dropping visuals like Snyder, but he is best. I'll break down why James Gunn is better than Snyder and why his approach works better than Snyder's.
And action!
One thing James Gunn excels at is creating characters we genuinely care about. Take Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. Each character brings something unique. Rocket Raccoon's emotional backstory had me in tears. Drax never fails to make me laugh, and Groot captures the innocence and wonder of childhood. These side characters don't just exist in the story, they stay with you long after the movie ends. Now, let's look at Zack Snyder's films. His focus is almost entirely on stunning visuals, but the characters, forgettable. Can you name a single Spartan from 300 without Googling? Snyder prioritizes style over substance, and while his visuals are undeniably gorgeous, his movies often lack the emotional core that makes a story truly impactful. Take Batman v Superman as an example. It had a few high moments, but there was no emotional bond with the audience. It felt cold and disconnected. Compare recent movies to Gunn's Peacemaker or even Creature Commandos. Gunn's characters resonate with audiences, which is why Peacemaker has a 93% audience rating and Creature Commandos sits at 95%. Meanwhile, Snyder's recent Rebel Moon scored only 20%, and even Army of the Dead could only manage 67%. The numbers don't lie, emotional connection is what makes a movie memorable, not just impressive visuals. James Gunn has a unique ability to take lesser-known characters and turn them into household names. Guardians of the Galaxy is a perfect example. Before the film, characters like Rocket, Groot, and Drax were mostly unknown, but Gunn made them integral to the MCU and beloved by audiences worldwide. He did it again with the Suicide Squad, turning obscure characters like Polka Dot Man, King Shark, and Ratcatcher into fan favorites by giving them depth and relatability. In contrast, Zack Snyder focused on iconic characters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, but struggled to make them emotionally connect with audiences. His films were visually stunning but often lacked the emotional depth needed to appeal to a broad audience. While Snyder's darker tone attracted a dedicated fan base, it didn't resonate with the general public. Gunn knows that a movie needs to connect with more than just hardcore comic fans, it needs to appeal to a wider audience. His approach brings out the best in characters, no matter how obscure, and makes them relatable. Many Snyder and DC fans have expressed concern that James Gunn's approach to DC will be too humor-driven, especially given his track record with films like Guardians of the Galaxy. While it's true that Gunn often incorporates humor, this isn't necessarily a problem. In fact, if you want a wider audience, humor can be a powerful tool. The key to any great movie is emotional connection, and humor can be one of the easiest ways to bridge that gap. When done right, humor helps audiences connect with the characters on a personal level, making them feel more engaged and invested in the story. This leads to a more positive movie experience, more box office success, and ultimately, a more satisfied audience. The most important thing here is that humor doesn't turn into cringe. We've all seen She-Hulk series. Jokes fall flat or forced, but James Gunn has mastered the art of integrating humor in a way that enhances the story rather than detracting from it. Gunn's humor never overwhelms the movie. It's always balanced by the emotional stakes of the characters and their journey. He knows when to inject lighthearted moments and when to take the tone seriously. James Gunn also places a significant emphasis on music in his films, and it's one of the key elements that sets his movies apart. Gunn has a unique ability to blend music with storytelling, creating memorable scenes that are as much about the song choice as they are about the action. A great example is in Guardians of the Galaxy, where there's a scene of Groot enjoying music while chaos unfolds in the background. It's not just a throwaway moment, it perfectly captures the character's innocence amidst the chaos, and the music adds to the emotional depth. Gunn has this incredible ability to pick songs that not only fit the tone, but enhance the narrative, creating a lasting impact on the audience. This talent extends across his other projects too. In the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, and Creature Commandos, his music choices have created a distinct fan base who appreciate how Gunn curates the soundtrack to complement the characters and scenes. On the other hand, Zack Snyder also uses music in his films, but his approach can be hit or miss. Some of his choices, like Flight from Man of Steel, are perfect. They elevate the scene and give it a powerful, heroic feel. It's a track that's become synonymous with Superman's journey. However, there are times when Snyder's use of music feels forced or out of place, while his epic visual style is unmatched. Sometimes the music doesn't always fit the mood or tone as seamlessly as it could. James Gunn has consistently proven his ability to deliver solid, well-received films even when Marvel was facing a string of failures. His work on Guardians of the Galaxy brought fresh hope, and more recently, his success with Peacemaker and Creature Commandos showed that he can bring a unique touch to DC as well. Both projects were well received by audiences and critics alike. Yet there's still a lingering negativity surrounding Gunn's takeover of DC. It's puzzling why some fans continue to doubt him. One of the biggest reasons DC decided to hit the reboot button was that Zack Snyder's vision, while beloved by a certain group of fans, was widely not received the way the studio had hoped. DC needed a fresh direction, and James Gunn is well suited for the task. His ability to balance humor, emotion, and action is something Snyder's darker tone often struggled with, making his films less accessible to a broader audience. Gunn's fresh approach allows DC to connect with more people, and that's crucial if the studio wants to regain its footing in the superhero space. Despite his track record of success and the potential he's shown in handling DC's first two projects under his belt, people are still throwing stones at Gunn. It seems like a lot of fans are resistant to change and willing to accept that DC needs to evolve. What they may not fully understand is that James Gunn has the vision and ability to make DC more accessible and successful for a larger audience. Hopefully, he continues to prove that he's the right choice for the future of DC. I'm not disrespecting Zack Snyder in any way. I'm genuinely a big fan of his visuals. The way he brings epic, larger-than-life imagery to the screen is unmatched, and his work has definitely left a lasting impact on the superhero genre. Snyder has a unique style that's become iconic, especially in the way he portrays grand, dramatic moments. His ability to capture visual spectacle is one of the reasons his films have such a distinct. There's no reason to hate on James Gunn. Gunn is a talented filmmaker in his own right, with a proven track record of success. So here's why James Gunn is better than Zack Snyder for DC. Maybe you have a different opinion, and that's totally fine. I'd love to hear what you think. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss. I'll see you in the next video.